Well, today, guys, man, we got to talk about the Chicago Sky's general manager, Jeff Paliocca. Yesterday at the groundbreaking ceremony for the new practice facility that the Chicago Skies are building, he says some very interesting things, and we're going to talk about it. But before we get off into today's podcast, tell a friend to tell a friend. Well, guys, man, we got to talk about Chicago Sky's general manager, Jeff Paliocca. Is he trying to sabotage this organization? Now, yesterday we did a show pertaining Angel Reese on her cryptic tweet. Now, noticeably missing yesterday from that groundbreaking ceremony for the new practice facility was Angel Reese. Was that what the tweet was all about? Or was the tweet all about she's not happy in Chicago and she wants out? But Jeff Paliocca, he said some very interesting things when they did an interview with him. And I have to let you know my takes on it, man, because some of the things he said, I didn't like. Some of the questions that was asked to him and the way he responded, it's almost like it is what it is. And some of the things he said, I just couldn't grasp how he would come out and say that quick. We know the Chicago Skies fired Teresa Weatherspoon after the season. A lot of the players was upset. We saw the exit interviews on some players. And what stands out was that last press conference after they lost and was knocked out of the playoffs between Dana Evans and Isabel Harrison. That raises red flags right there, because also I saw another video of Jeff Paliocca talking about Dana Evans on this is what the Chicago Skies need, somebody that can play both ways. So then I get to thinking, like, what Dana Evans said probably played a major role in why Teresa Weatherspoon was fired. I'm going to do a video on that, later, and we're going to break that down, because what he said in this video is very interesting. But today, we got to talk about his comments that he said during the interview session at the groundbreaking ceremony for the Chicago Skies practice facility. And you guys, man, you want to stick around for the whole video, because you're not going to believe the way he answers some of these questions. That's why it comes to me as like, is this Chicago Skies organization doomed? Because firing Teresa Weatherspoon, we really don't have a clear-cut answer. I mean, there's rumors out there about inexperience. She wasn't prepared. But the way he answered these questions, and like I told you guys on many lives, that I think that she was fired because of the jealousy between the veterans and the rookies that came in, and that Angel Reese, Kennedy Carter, and Camila Cardoso was really attached to Teresa Weatherspoon, a personal relationship. And I don't think these veterans didn't buy into what Teresa Weatherspoon was preaching, and that gave the Chicago Skies all the right to say, hey, we got to move in a different direction. And the fact is that Teresa Weatherspoon got hired before Jeff Paliocca. That played a key role too, because Jeff Paliocca, when y'all listen to this interview, he basically was probably upset that she was hired before he was hired, and he did not get to handpick who he wanted as a coach. So let's take a listen to what Jeff Paliocca said in this interview, but pay close attention so you can hear what the interviewers are asking Jeff. And then we'll come back and I'll let you know how I feel about the whole situation.
Obviously, this news comes on the heels of some other news that the team made the decision to fire Teresa Weatherspoon. Was there a catalyst to that decision? Because obviously when she was hired, her inexperience was well established. So did something concrete happen that made you all believe that moving forward with her another season would not be beneficial to the team?
Well, first I want to say that I have a lot of respect for Spoon. We're very appreciative of the competitive teams, the resilient teams, the spirit she brought to us on the court every night. And look, as an organization, we just felt it was time to make a change.
Now, did y'all listen how he answered that question? He really couldn't give a definitive answer on why she was fired, because the interviewer asked her the inexperience, and he said, he respects T. Weatherspoon, and he just thought that it was time to move in a different direction. He gave no explanation for them letting her go.
We just want to make sure that we're continuing our quest for a championship, being in the playoffs every single season, and it was just something that we feel like we needed to do.
Now you hear what he said, our quest to be in the playoffs every season. Like I told you guys, he stated that they wanted to be in the playoffs every season. So Teresa Weatherspoon did not make the playoffs this year, and what happened? She got fired. That's one red flag.
It's not super common for the team to hire a What was that fit like for you coming in secondary, and how do you feel like that maybe contributed to that decision?
I don't know if it contributed to the decision at all, but obviously it's rare that the GM is hired afterwards. But we made it work as long as we could.
Do you smooth some feathers with Angel, because they were very, very upset with the way they put out social media?
Yeah, I think that emotions were high for a couple of days, and look, we can respect that, we can appreciate it, we understand that there's bonds that are built, with coaches and players, especially the young ones. So we're in a good place right now. We're back in normal discussion, and like I said, I totally understand it.
Now you heard what he said. He said that normally this is not an ideal situation where the coach is hired before the GM. So that's two red flags. He's pissed off about that. Now the interviewer asked her about the relationship between him and Angel Reese and Teresa Weatherspoon, where, they put out the tweets where they was emotional. And he said, yeah, emotions was high because of the relationship between the player and coach. But he said that did not figure into the firing of Teresa Weatherspoon when they asked him about the coach and GM, the way they was hired.
Do you expect the identity to change? You get a new coach who has their new ideas or philosophies that are different. Do you expect the identity to change, and what do you want it to be?
I felt like our identity a lot of time was really good. We want to be that tough team, that strong team, that defensive team, that team with a lot of grit. And look, if a new coach is going to bring in what their identity is going to be, I have my vision. We're going to try to find to be able to make sure we're playing really hard.
See, he said he has his vision.
Do you feel like
Yeah, they were both on it. It's understandable, and like I said, I really respect their feelings for Spoon. I had a great friendship with her. I get it. They were players that she had a great connection with. She cared about them a lot. They cared about her a lot. So, yeah, it's everything has calmed down quite a bit, but I understand it, and emotions are a part of this thing when you have real friendships.
So right now, is the franchise's relationship with Angel in a good spot?
Franchise relationship with Angel is in a good spot.
What do you say to candidates,
couldn't even answer that with a straight face.
candidates who, in the interview process or whatever, say to you, well, you only gave the last coach 1 year.
Yeah, it's a good question, and we felt that it was time to make a change. The next coach that comes in here, we'd like them to stay for a longer tenure.
Now, y'all heard what this guy, Jeff Paliocca, said, man. He said a lot, and I paused it to give you some key points to it. But then they went on to ask him the relationship between him and Angel Reese. He said, they're good. But he couldn't answer that with a straight face. Now, if their relationship is good, why come she didn't get an invitation to the groundbreaking ceremony for the new practice facility? And then another red flag, the guy at the end asked him about the coaching, about being in 1 year. He said, we want him to be around longer than that. but after 1 year, you wanted to make a change. So something ain't right. Something's not right, man. And that's why I said I think this Chicago Sky's organization is doomed. I think this guy has an ego problem because of some of the stuff that he said through the interview. He's pissed off because Teresa Weatherspoon got hired before he was put in place. So he couldn't bring his, coaches in. He wanted to handpick a coach and bring them in. But that could be the tweet that Angel Reese is talking about. When the grass is low, the snakes come out. And, a lot of people, you trying to insinuate what that cryptic tweet was. Was it about her being unhappy in Chicago? But this all ties to everything. She could be unhappy and wanting out. And, basically she could say that she don't trust his organization right now. She don't trust him. But Jeff Paliocca, he couldn't even answer these questions, in detail. I mean, he was given the coach's general manager type answers. The interviewers did not get out what they wanted out of this interview because he sidestepped a lot of stuff, man. I mean, you sugarcoated it and moved on. But hey, it is what it is, man. You guys let me know what y'all think about today's, episode, man. Make sure y'all like this video. Make sure you share it out. Make sure you give it a thumbs up. Make sure you tell a friend to tell a friend. And, before you leave out the door, make sure you give the video a thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button, post your comments, share the video out, give the video a thumbs up. And this is going to wrap up another episode of the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. I'm your host and the man behind the mic, K-Sap. We're going to catch you on the next one. Deuces.
Thanks for listening to the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. Be sure to subscribe, like, and share on all major platforms.
That's all, folks.